Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? I hope that you all are doing okay and fine. So, our lesson today would be subject verb agreement. So, first, you have to log in using the aplusstudent.com. So, click on your name, move on to language art grade 7. Then the chapter will be subject verb agreement, and then we have two lessons that we will complete there today. We have correct errors with subject verb agreement, correct errors with indefinite pronoun verb agreements. Okay, in this lesson, we have to look at that the subject and the verb in a sentence or clause must agree in number. So the subject and verb. So they must always agree in a sentence. When you have the subject, you have the verb, they need to agree together and go together. When a subject is singular, you have to use a singular verb. Singular verbs usually end with s, all right? So when it is singular, you have to make sure that you use a singular verb, and the singular verb usually ends with s, es, ies. So any of these, the singular subject will end, the singular verb will end with this. Just like we have Sarah visits her grandmother. So you can see that visit has S and the subject is just one, Sarah. So once you have a singular subject, your verb needs to have either of this S, ES, or IES. Then we have Brian teaches. Brian teaches at history. Brian now is also singular, and teaches here is a singular verb because it ends with es. And then when a subject uses a plural verbs usually do not end in s. So the plural. So the plural verb do not end in s, es, or ies. Okay. So when we have plural, we know that it's more than one person. Just like we have Kyle and Jesse walk home, you can see that Kyle and Jesse is plural because it's two people. And the subject walk here has no S or anything. So it's just a plain subject. That's why you need to note that the singular subject goes with singular verb and plural subject goes with plural verb, and the plural do not end with s or es. Now we have those brownies smell delicious. Those brownies smell delicious. Brownies, plural. And then smell, which is the verb, does not have S, E, S, or I, E, S. So we have subject verb agreement is usually determined by the simple subject. Remember that the simple subject and the verb aren't always adjacent. So the assignment of the fans is palpable. The violinists who perform the duet work together quite often. Some sentences are inverted, meaning the subject follows the verb. Original, your blueberry pancakes are here. Inverted, here are your blueberry pancakes. So you have to take note of the sentences. So we have my mom cooks dinner. My mom, which is the subject, and it's a singular subject. Cooks, which is a singular verb. So my mom cooks dinner. So you can see that the verb ends with S. Then this one we have the cookies, which is in plural. Always finish quickly. So finish, which is the verb, does not have es or ies. So moving on. So we have use singular verb for most indefinite pronouns. So when you have the indefinite pronouns, you have to use singular verb, including each, either, neither, one, everyone, everybody, everything, anyone, anybody, anything, someone, somebody, something, no one, nobody, and nothing. All these are the indefinite pronouns. So you use all these indefinite pronouns with what? Singular verb. So everyone generally leaves the office around 6 o'clock. So nothing in the kitchen works properly. So we have nothing, we have everyone here. So all these indefinite pronouns they go with the singular verb. Use a plural verb for the indefinite pronoun both, few, many, others, and several. So if you see any of this one, we have both, few. They are not a lot, so you can remember them. So if you see any of this, you use them with the plural subject, okay, or plural verb. So I have tried many red velvets cupcakes, but few taste as delicious as Cathy's. So we also have these plums are almost ripe. In fact, several look ready to eat now. So this is the plural subject and the plural verb. Some indefinite pronouns like all, any, most, none, and some can go with singular or plural. So we have some indefinites like all, any, most, none, some. So these ones over here, they can all go with either the plural or the subject verb, a singular subject, okay? Depending on what the pronoun refers to. So we have I own several winter coats, but none fit quite well. None, remember. So the pronoun refers to the plural noun coats. Water generally fills the creek from October to April, but by June or July, almost none is left. The pronoun refers to the singular noun water. Okay, so that's it for this. We'll move on here to the test. As you can see here, we have three lessons and we will complete the first two today. And the next lesson, we will continue with the last one. So we will start with the first one, which is correct errors with subject verb agreements. So let's look at this. So we will just move on to the test and you can share your answers with me if you know any. Okay, you can participate. So you have to find the error with the subject verb agreement. Select the incorrect verb and type it correctly. So we have the student elected to lead our school beautification committee have several inspiring ideas, including a mural in the gym and the relocation of the garbage cans from several school entrances to behind the cafeteria. So let's look at this and figure out where the problem is. So we have and has, okay? So the community have several inspiring ideas or the community has several inspiring ideas. So what do you think is the right one here? So now let's say that you click on this one and then it's the wrong one. You have to ask yourself why. Why is it wrong? Then you scroll down and then you see the correction over here. Now the subject and the verb in a sentence must agree, so we have to remember that. So we have the student. Okay, the verb has is incorrect. Why? Because the subject is the student elected to lead our school beautification committee, which is plural. So this sentence is plural. The students. Okay, so the verb should be have. So you have to take note of it and know the difference before you click on your answers. Okay. So we have this one. Find the error. So we have the rainbow lorikeet, a parrot found in the Solomon Islands, are named for the array of color found on its feathers. The rainbow lorikeet, a parrot found in the Solomon Island, is named for the array of colors found on its feather. So what do you think is the right verb agreement here? So we have is and are, but it's talking about just one parrot, the rainbow lorikeet. So it cannot be are. Are is, of course, we know that are is for the plural. So is for singular. So we have this one. Erica's favorite hiking trail winds from the base of Mount Diablo up to the summit, which offers breathtaking views of the surrounding. So we have to compare and see. So we have winds and wind, which is the right one here. So we have Erica's favorite hiking trail. So we have Erica, which is singular. So the verb winds needs to have s added to it. Okay. In the American justice system, a jury hears final arguments before retiring to a separate room to deliberate privately. So, what do you think is the right option here? So in the American justice system, it's just like singular one. So you have to get a verb that has singular as well with S. When you inhale, the diaphragm or muscle beneath the lungs flatten out to make way for the air entering your lungs. So we have to check which one. So we have flatten and flattens. So what is going to be the right option here? So it says the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is one. So you need to have a verb with S, so flattens. Okay? All right, so we have Northern California's Lost Coast is a stretch of rugged coastline known for its pristine and hard-to-reach beaches. Hi, Devisher, how are you? So, what do you think is the right one over here? So, is a stretch or are a stretch? What do you think? Hi, if you need help with the comprehension exercise, you need to discuss with a tutor. I will show you what to do. Just hold on. Let's do this test, then I will show you. So, what do you think is the right one here? So it's a stretch. So it's just like one. So it's a stretch. So that's it for this particular lesson. So you have to make sure that you complete it. We still have more questions. You can see we just did the seventh. So the sixth, we still have a lot more. So if you haven't done this before, make sure you try to complete this. So we'll move on to the second lesson, which is correct errors with indefinite pronoun and verb agreement. So the visual, if you want to talk about like comprehension exercise and you need help, you can click on this chat button here, and then you can find a tutor there that can help you like more in depth. Okay, so you can click here and you can get help from the language tutors there. Oh, you're welcome. All right, so moving on to this one, the one with the indefinite pronouns. So we have, let's look at some questions. If no one in the audience laughs at a joke, make fun of how bad the joke was. The seasoned comedian advised the less experienced performer. So if no one in the audience laughs at a joke, so laugh, okay, at a joke. So no one. Remember that no one is a single. It's a singular indefinite pronoun. Remember that all of this over here are considered the singular indefinite pronoun, and then we have only both, few, many others, and several that are the plural. Then we have the ones that can be both plural and singular, which is like, all, any, most, none, and some. So all this can be either singular or it can also be plural. So we'll move on to the test now. Okay, so if you want to find the chat button, let me tell you what you can do. You have to make sure that you go to the grade that you're working on. If you're working on a particular grade, just like this is grade 7, right? So we click on the subject verb agreement, you click on the chapter you're working on. Once you click on the chapter and you want to move on to the lessons, you can just see the chat button there. Okay? You can see it over there, all right? So we have find the error with the subject verb agreement. Select the incorrect verb and type it correctly. Okay, so we have since no one ever uses the public payphone, at first and main, the city is going to remove it. So, since no one ever used the public payphone at first and main, the city is going to remove it. So, what is the right answer to this particular test question? So if you take note of this, you see that uses and use is the one that has the difference. And we say that no one is singular, right? So we would say uses because the singular verb always ends with s, es, or ies. Okay? So we have at the annual See the Bug Falcons Family Day, everyone in attendance receive a small flag with the team logo, and the first 20 attendees receive a team backpack. So the verb here is receives and then receive. So you have to make sure that you choose the right one. So what do you think is the right answer over here? Okay, so we have everyone, which is singular. So you need to have a singular verb which ends with s. All right. So we have call and response is a technique that musicians use with each other at or with the audience. A musician calls out a phrase or a sound and then everyone responds by repeating it. So we have each here, and then let's look for the verb. So we have response here and respond. What is the right answer for this particular question? So we have response by repeating it. Because everyone there over there shows that it is a singular subject. Okay. So we have this one over here. So, community service is an integral part of student life at Clarkville College. Some students participate in city wild beautification campaigns, while others, particularly members of the Marine Biology Department, choose to volunteer at a marine mammal rescue center. So, what is the right one over here? So, we need to find the verb. So, we have chooses and then choose. So, what is the right answer over here? So now, why is this one wrong? You have to take note of this. This is wrong because we have others. Remember that others is the plural indefinite pronoun. So whenever you have others, it is a plural subject. So you have to remember that also. So we have here both few, many, others, and several are plural indefinite pronouns. Okay, so once you see that, you have to note that it's a plural subject. So we have animals in the wild face threats from predators, humans, and adverse environmental conditions. Few actually lives to die of old age. So live to die of or lives. Lives here is the what? It's the verb. Okay. So this is live because few is an indefinite plural subject. So we had few there, and that is the right one for that. Okay. So many tourists on the Hawaiian island of the Oahu flock to the world class beaches. But from but few who visit the island know about the Haiku stairs, thousands of steel steps that lead to one of the island's most impressive vista. So, what is the right one? We have the verb. We have to check that. So we have knows and know, but few. But the thing is that few words here over here is a plural. So you need to have a plural verb without s. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that everyone in the world have certain fundamental rights such as freedom of expression, equal protection under law, and equal pay for equal work. So what is the right one over here? So we have everybody over here, which is what? Singular. All right, so that's it for this lesson, subject verb agreement. So you have to make sure that you complete this lesson. You still have some more questions to answer, so you can complete the questions. And then next time we will finish our lesson on that, the subject verb agreement. So before we will do the last one next time. Before we end, you can let me know if you have any questions. Do you have any question before we finish for today? All right, so if you have no questions, we will end here for today. Have a good night, everyone. See you next time.